Well, Sally, he gave a very lengthy introduction speech at the beginning of the plenary session of this 28th St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, and he focused exclusively on the domestic topics, on the issues of the economy, eradicating poverty in the country, and he gave a rather rosy picture about what is happening with Russian economy. He substantiated that claim with the various figures, including increasing country's GDP, also using some lines from which were given before by both MMF and also the World Bank about Russia's economy doing, to be honest, good. Nobody expected that after what happened in the year 2022. He also mentioned that Russia successfully reduced the level of poverty from 29% back in 2002 to only about 7%, and that the country will try to pursue the figure of only 5%, the level of poverty. And of course, he also mentioned that for the first time Russia is actively seeking to get rid of hydrocarbon economy, that Russia is going to export even more products which are not related to hydrocarbons. He mentioned that over 50% of entire Russian GDP is now provided by non-hydrocarbon economy. And this is something that he seems to be very proud of when he addressed all those people at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum at the plenary session, which actually started like 2 hours later than expected, and it is still ongoing.
And Aljosa, do you have any details on what China and Russia have actually been speaking about?
At this moment, we still don't have any official statements about what the Russian President Vladimir Putin talked about with the Deputy Premier of China. This is something that most likely we will have through the official channels, through the official statements, because that meeting, as well as many other meetings that happened here in St. Petersburg, were actually behind closed doors. What we can say is that a plenary session which is still ongoing and which is a key event of St. Petersburg Forum, this plenary session is still ongoing. And interestingly enough, every leader who spoke in the beginning of the session was focused exclusively on economy, and only in the second half of this plenary session they started talking about the international implications, about the crisis in Ukraine, about relations between the US and Russia, and of course there is a mentioned relation between the global south and the rest of the world, meaning the global west. And this is something that it is being focus of address not just by Vladimir Putin, but also by the Indonesian president, who is also here, deputy president of South Africa, and a couple of other leaders.